Hello and welcome to the 5th Rooster Teeth community highlight, a show in which I take some of the community-made content and show them to you to make sure they get the attention they deserve. If you've watched this previously, you know there was a RWBY movie posters contest on the Rooster Teeth website, and now that the results are in, I'm going to be showing you 5 of the winners. I mean, there was 10 in total, and I might go back in the future and show you the other 5, but I'll just show you 5 for now, see how that goes. Like I did with the achievement on the 5th anniversary, I wore a party hat, made a special event of this. For this special RWBY episode, I've gone and made my own special combo weapon. So don't let it fool you. It may just look like a bokken, which is a training sword, with a revolver belted or tied to it. But this is incredibly advanced because the way I see it, it's got the stab and the shoot, so you can stabby shoot. You guys might not know this, but this is going to be an upcoming weapon in the RWBY series. It's incredibly. I really can't sell this too well. I mean, this. I spent about 15 minutes trying to make this, and I probably should have put maybe more time into this, but hey, I call it shoot stab. So with my incredible weapon crafting skills aside, let's just get straight into it. Starting with this poster done by Asgear, which captures the 4 main girls of RWBY in an almost very sinister way. I mean, the poster is designed in such a way that you never see any of their 4 eyes, and in the way that they're ordered, it comes off kind of. Well, I mean, it looks like they mean business, and although we haven't had a chance to see all 4 of them fighting side by side, which I'm sure we're all looking forward to, I wouldn't want to mess with them. I mean, I wouldn't want to mess with Yang because I mean, she could just punch my face off. RWBY could cut my face off. Wes, probably, I mean, she's sass. Asgear, I mean, okay, this is the name of the week that I can't pronounce. And what they've managed to do in this poster is actually still, while keeping the sinister thing, still keeping some elements of each of the characters. I mean, RWBY, if you pay attention to her face, she's actually still smiling. And it does look like the 4 main characters are just praying for a massive battle with the shadow in the background. It's a very, very stylized piece, which is a word you're going to be hearing a lot this episode. Stylized. Up next, we have this poster done by Bloodytown, which splits up the 4 main characters, putting them in settings more fitting of their colour set and characters. Obviously, you have RWBY, Wes, Blake, and Yang. I also like it that in the background of use of the 4 images, they have some sort of relation to the introduction trailers that we had for RWBY. Obviously, RWBY, she was fighting in a field of snow, slaying wolves. Wes, she was in a cathedral. Blake was out in some autumn, well, obviously on a train track. And obviously, Yang was in a club going. I'm going to keep doing it. You're not going to be able to get this out your head. JKGN, or JKGN, on the website actually took the weapons of each of the 4 main characters and actually 3D modeled them. What I really like is how each of the weapons still stand out, even though they are just somewhat scattered amounts the floor. I think that's probably a credit of both the creator, JK. Sorry, do you want me to say it with one, or do I say each letter individually? I suppose it's credit to him and credit to the weapon design within RWBY. The fact that each one is so iconic of the characters that just by seeing them alone on the floor, you can identify with each of them. And the poster itself is, it's a little bit more symbolic. Lack of a better term. It's not symbolic. Is it symbolic? I'm just making up words. No, symbolic is a word. I'm not making it up. I'm just rambling. Need to stop rambling. Need to slow down my voice and just talk about how good the art is. Jokes aside, I still like how JKGN has paid attention to the little details. I mean, if you look around the weapons, there's not just empty floor space. It's like empty shell casings. It sort of foretells for like a action-packed of something that has to happen there. I mean, we don't have an idea what. We probably will never find out, but it's still cool. Up next, we have this piece done by Res Alan, which, out of a lot of the posters presented, it gives you somewhat a new perspective on it. I mean, for the most part, it is because all the characters are at a very emphasized angle. I mean, obviously, if you tilt your head to the side, everything looks about right, but the way everything sort of curves around the image, and you have the sort of depth between each character slowly getting off into the distance. I think even with this stylized angle, which second time I think I've said it, and if I said it anymore, I'll put a counter. But if it's only two, it's too much work. But what I really think works about this sort of stylized angle is the fact that even though they've still managed to capture some of the personality of each character. I mean, just using two examples, you have Wes, and the way her posture is, the way she's standing, is very refined, very posh. Not like Posh Spice posh, but posh. And then obviously you have Blake off in the background, and from what we know about the her character this far in the series is she's a quiet type. She's a little bit of a loner. And finally, we have this poster done by Shelby Blue, which is it's Shelby B. Okay, this is a second name in this episode. I'm struggling. I'm just gonna call you Shelby. All right, you cool with that, Shelby? Not like Scott Shelby. He's creepy. Heavy Rain series player. I really like the style in which they've recreated RWBY, which personally I find very reminiscent of many of Studio Ghibli's work. They've still captured that big element of RWBY's youth. She's intended to be quite young in comparison to all those around her, and obviously you have the contrast of that and her big ass motherfucking teeth. Shelby has also taken elements from the series as we know it. Obviously you have the large school in the background and some dramatic smoke. I mean, it's everything you could ask for in a poster. Maybe a few more. I mean, the amount of detail in the scythe and the sort of posture and wind of everything, it's just a really nice poster. All the posters are. And actually, all 10 of the people who posted in won not only a RWBY t-shirt, but I think they won a RWBY hoodie as well. Which, I mean, I'm going to get a picture, and it's going to look good. I'm going to try and Photoshop it, so it looks like I'm wearing it. Because it's just that cool. So that brings the end of this episode. There are no community events coming up in the next week. Apart from the Friday in which this is posted, there is game night within Halo. So, obviously check on the website for more details, which is in the description below as always. Episode 231, in which the podcast featuring Jack, Gus, Bernie, and Gavin get on to the subject of Little Miss Muffet, and results in Gavin gagging. Check it out for yourself, honestly. But anyway, this has been me, Matthew, or Matt Chow on the site. If you've got any submissions on your own, don't forget, receive at community .live. No, wait, no, Rooster Teeth. RT. I don't even know my own email. It's rtcommunity@live.com, or message me on Rooster Teeth, which, again, I'll leave my link in the description below. But anyway, thanks again for watching. Be sure to tune in again next week.